Hello everyone. So myself Raghav Jagga, a fifth year law student from University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, pursuing BCom LLB in taxation laws. So nowadays I'm a legal intern with Lexis and Company. So today for our topic is Maternity Benefits Act 1961. Okay, let's discuss this concept. Okay, let's start. So, Section 2, Clause 43 of the Social Security Code 2020 talks about the maternity benefit in respect of the Chapter 6, which means the payment referred in the subsection 1 of Section 60, which means a payment or other allowances made by a state or an employer to a woman during a pregnancy or after the childbirth. Okay, so Section 2 Clause 45 of the SS Code 2020, a medical treatment of the pregnancy, which means the termination of the pregnancy permissible under the provisions of the Medical Treatment of the Pregnancy Act 1971. Okay, so Section 2 Clause J of the Maternity Benefit 1961 and Section 2 Clause 48 of the SS Code 2020 talks about the miscarriage, which means the expulsion of the content of the pregnancy uterus at the period prior to the during the 26th week of the pregnancy, but does not include any miscarriage, the causing of which is punishable under the IPC, which is the Indian Penal Code. So let's discuss this act section wise. So Section 4 of Maternity Benefit Act 1961 and Section 59 of the SS Code 2020 talks about the employment of or work by a woman probation during a certain period. Okay, so first one is no employer shall knowingly employ a woman in any establishment during the 6th week immediate following the day of her delivery or his miscarriage or a medical treatment of the pregnancy. So second one is no woman shall work in any establishment during the 6th week immediately following the days of her delivery, miscarriage, medical treatment and pregnancy. Okay, so third point is no pregnant woman shall on the request made by her be inquired by the employer to do some specific periods in above of the prior cases. Okay, so let's discuss another section, which is a Section 5 of the Maternity Benefit Act 1961 and a Section 60 of the SS Code. This talks about the right to payment of a maternity benefit. So here is one case law to discuss this concept, which is a PNB versus Astamaja Das. In this case, every woman shall be entitled to her employer shall be liable for the payment of the maternity benefit, the rate of the average delivery wages of the payment. Okay, so in this case, the court held that the woman is entitled to take as their salary for the period of the pregnancy. Okay, the maximum period for which any woman shall entitled to a maternity benefit shall be 26 weeks instead by a 2017 Maternity Benefit Amendment Act. Okay, it further provided that the maximum period entitled for a maternity benefit by a woman having a 2 or more than 2 surviving childs shall be of 12 weeks, or which is not more than 6 weeks shall predict the date of the assured pregnancy. Okay, so discuss another point, which is a woman who legally adopt a child below the age of 3 months or a commencing mother shall be entitled to a maternity benefit for the period of 12 months from the date of the child is handing over to the adopting mother. Okay, so one question arises due to this section, which is should Sunday be included in this? maternity benefit. So they discuss this with a case law, which is which is B. Shaw versus Labor Court, California. So in this case, a 12-week average salary shall include a Sunday payment. 2. Even if there is no provisions for a working on a Sunday is the establishment. Another case law, which is Ram Bhagdra Thakur versus Chief Inspector of Plantation. In this case, the High Court held that it shall include those days when female workers have worked for a half day. All such days shall be counted as a whole days. Okay, so I hope you have understood each and every concept of the Maternity Benefit Act. So if you have any doubt, please feel free to comment in the comment box.